Hello, everyone. Today I'm going to be doing a kind of a compare on how uh, trading SPX in Forex, which it's basically SPY, and versus doing it with trading SPY with Robinhood. There's pros and cons to both. But first, let's just get to the basics out of the way and want to see which one you can potentially make the most out of, in my opinion. So first, we're going to be looking at trading SPY on Robinhood and seeing which method can actually make you more money faster. It's trading the same asset. You're doing one on Forex and you're doing one on Robinhood. When you do it on Robinhood, you have to buy contracts, and when you do it on when you do SPX, you're doing it on Forex. So let's look at trading SPY on Robinhood real quick, and we'll look at the pros and cons. Okay, so doing it on Robinhood, you have to go for the ticker SPY, and this is for the purposes of if you want to do options contracts. So you would go here to trade, you go to options, and you would predict you would have to predict the method that it's going to be going. So you have to pick a date. So you have an expiration on your prediction when you want to do options on Robinhood and trade the S&P 500. So let's just say we have February 27th here, and we are predicting. I always do in the money contracts, which is pretty close to what the current price is. So everyone's predicting the put, I guess. So for purposes, what I try doing when I do on Robinhood is I try to get the dot here. Try to get as close here as possible. So what we were looking at generally is a one contract for SPY usually will cost you around like $450 to $500 just for the contract, and the contract expires on the 27th, which only gives you 1 day. So it will end up costing more money if you want to stretch it out longer. Let's say till March 1st. So if you want to do it till March 1st, it's going to cost you a lot more money. It's about $524. It's close to the dot. So what you want to do, you have up until March 1st for it to go down in a certain direction. So, and basically you make your money for every dollar. Basically, when you're doing it with SPY, for every dollar that you catch, it's around about $100. So if we see this right here, we see 506. So we go to 505. Yeah, it's around 100, maybe a little bit over. So you average about $100 for every dollar in SPY and trading. So with this, you can actually scale it up. If you have 500, once you get to like 1,000, you could do 2 contracts. And let's just go there real quick. We'll show how this can compound over time. So if you had enough for, let's say, 2 contracts, it would cost you 1,000. So if your capital was around 1,000, you could do 2 contracts. You can go to 3 contracts. And let's just go back to 2 here. You could see that you start making money a little bit faster. And it could kind of turn into passive income. It can replace a 9-to-5 if you know what you're doing. But you do have an expiration to this. And so that's kind of how you make money trading SPY, doing, options contracts. So when you're trading SPY here, there's many different methods, and I teach a lot of different formulas on my channel. But I basically lately have been using 90-95 and the 9 moving average. And I followed the 9 a lot closely. I also use 9 and 21, which I'm not going to show you on this video. But it tracks kind of the movement of SPY. I also use Trade Sniper. It kind of shows me the direction. But I want really quickly, I just want to show you on the daily here, and we'll zoom in real close here. We'll look at SPY on the day. We could see potentially what we can make with SPY if we zoom in on the day candles, if you do this on a day-by-day basis here. So we go from this candle here, we ride it all the way down to this one. This is around a $10 difference in price. So if you caught that full move, you make about $1,000. But you would have to catch that full move. And if you caught it in between anywhere in that candle, you were in profit. Same thing for this next one right here. So right here, so we have, I can't measure this, hold on, move this up. So from here to here, it's about $11. So you could make anywhere, if you're anywhere in that range, you would be in profit. So that's how you can turn a little bit. So you don't do this on the day, you do this on shorter time frames. One method that I'm doing lately here is I catch and I see what the overall trend is. I'll look at the 4 hour and I'll see what the overall trend is doing. I don't want to make this about strategy, but I see what the overall trend is doing. I look at the last couple candles in the last 4 hour, like on the 4 hour here. We can see that it's been going up, so my focus would be to do calls. But I'd wait for a smaller time frame. I'd go to a smaller time frame like the 5 minute, and I'd wait for a little pullback, and then I'd wait for it to come back up. That's kind of like my method of how to find those moments. But anyway, I'm not going to make this on trading SPY, but that's what you can get from trading just the SPY on Robinhood with options contracts. The next method is to trade the SPX and to do it on Forex. It's a little bit different because they have their pros and cons. You're not buying contracts with this method. You're basically, what I do is I'm starting from a small balance and growing it over time. So you're starting with lot sizes here. Start with 0.01 and you scale over time. And with doing it on Forex, you basically, instead of buying contracts, you're multiplying by the cents. So if you're starting off on 0.01, that's 1 cent, and that's 1 cent that you're wagering, and for every cent that it goes in the right direction, you double with Forex and SPY. And we could see potentially how much you can make with just the bare minimum here. But with doing it on Forex, you don't buy contracts, so you could have bare minimum, I'd say about 500, and you can still start making some profit. So what we're going to do is, I'm not going to go over, setting it up, because I've made videos on how to set it up. You need Trade Locker, and then you need a broker, and the broker will give you a login, and then you can trade it with SPX. But let's look at the charts and let's see potentially how much you can make by trading SPX. Okay, so to trade the S&P 500, you need the ticker SPX. So this is the full balance here. Now I do the same formula like I talked about with SPY. I focus on the 921. I focus on doing it with Ghost Market Pro and a couple of indicators here. But the same thing that we just looked at the day on doing it on Robinhood. Let's look at the same thing on SPX here. And what we want to look at here is how much of a price difference is it between here to here. Now this is a $97 difference in price. So if you caught that entire, it's a $97 difference in price, but the way to calculate this with Forex, you see on the right there, 9,734. That's how many pips it took for that move. So you basically times that number by 0.01, and that's how much That's how much you made trading it. So this is 9,734 pips. If you caught that whole thing, 9,734 times your penny, you made $97. You turned your 1 penny. If you caught that entire run, you caught your pen your penny turned into $97. However, if you're wrong, now this is just with one lot size. If you're wrong, you'd be down $97. If you're right, you'd be up $97. So I can't rewind this video, but we see the profit that you basically wagered a cent and you made about $100. Doing it on Robinhood, it cost what, $500 for the contract to make. You made about the same, but you had to pay for the contract. The contract expires. You don't have to buy contracts with this. So this was turning 1 cent into $97. You basically 9,000, almost 10,000 x'd your money. So it's very easy to scale with this. So let's look at a couple candles here. We looked at these same 2 candles when we were doing Robinhood. So let's go to this next one here too. The average here, that was 97, and this one is that's about 100. So about another $100. You could turn 1 penny into $100. To me, it's, you could have a low balance on your Forex and you could just get really lucky, and you could easily turn that 1 penny into $100. So if you are lucky in a trade, you could easily grow your account a lot faster with Forex. That's just my opinion. So, because if we see these other days here, we compare this. You got from here to here. Is this only 54? And let's do a couple more. So there's a couple, big candles, a lot of small candles. This is another 97. So on average, I like to say on average, it's about $100. So in order to calculate lot size here, you need to kind of figure out $100. So if it goes wrong, $100 in the wrong direction, that's how much you can calculate what your lot size needs to be. So my formula, and I kind of use this formula when doing SPY. When doing SPY and contracts, for every 1,000 I buy another contract. So for every 1,000 I buy another contract with Robinhood. That's just my opinion, my strategy. With doing it with SPX, for every 1,000 I increase my lot size by 1. So both methods here are good. I mean, it's reading the same chart for the same stock. You'll make it with SPY, and you can make it with trading it with Forex with SPX. In my opinion, I would do it with SPX first, because you could take a little. You could get lucky and you could take that 0.01 and make it into $100. You can grow it faster, I believe, with SPX and doing it on Forex, because the high advantage to doing it with SPX is there's no contracts, there's an expiration. You can hold it for as long as you want. You just have to make sure you have enough capital. We're doing it with SPY and contracts and things like that. You got to find in the money contracts. But anyway, in my opinion, I would do SPX and do it on Forex. But if you do both, you can open up 2 levels of income. You're reading the chart for the same thing, and you're open the doors for 2 levels of income. So my personal opinion is have enough of a balance to do both, and you can have 2 sources of income. You can actually have 3, because you can do one for Forex, one for Robinhood, and then you could have one for a Satoshi balance and grow Bitcoin as well too. And your gains will be in Bitcoin, but that's also in another video. But anyway, if you guys like this video, this is not financial advice. This is just my own observation. So anyway, hit the like button if you like this video, and I'll see you guys in future videos.